The following video contains content and opinions that some may find odd, offensive, or otherwise inappropriate for human consumption. Please watch and comment at your own risk. So you know the phrase, "what a time to be alive"? Well, that saying certainly rings true for the professional sports landscape today. The Rams ended up moving from St. Louis to Los Angeles last year. The Chargers followed suit and uprooted from San Diego just recently. And the Oakland Raiders, well, they've been flirting with the idea of moving to Las Vegas for a couple years now. But recently, they filed for relocation through the NFL in January, effectively taking that relationship to the next level. Enter the Utah Jazz. Everybody's trendy sleeper pick in the NBA's Western Conference is currently 5th place and is looking to make the playoffs for the first time since 2012. They also have one of the better all-star player tandems in Gordon Hayward and Rudy Gobert. And it's in large part because of Gobert that the Jazz are currently the top-ranked defensive team in the NBA. But we'll get into all of that in a later video. Today we're mostly focusing on what happened with the ownership transfer. But first, a little background for those that don't know the whole story. The Jazz originally moved from New Orleans to Salt Lake City, Utah in 1979. Ownership at the time was going bankrupt and was entertaining offers from parties in Toronto, Minneapolis, and Salt Lake City. But it was Salt Lake City car dealer Larry H. Miller who made the best offer. He ended up buying the team for $22 million in 1985, and under his ownership, the Jazz would win multiple division titles and 2 Western Conference titles. In fact, in the time Larry H. Miller owned the team from 1985 to 2009, the Jazz only missed the playoffs twice, and to this day, it's one of the most impressive 25-year runs of any team in NBA history. In 2009, Larry H. Miller passed away after a long battle with diabetes. His wife, Gail Miller, would assume ownership responsibilities while handing the day-to-day operational duties to her son, Greg Miller. Ever since that day, rumors have run rampant about the Millers potentially selling the Jazz to multiple parties, most of whom would want to move the team out of the small market of Salt Lake City to a more favorable market like Las Vegas or Seattle. However, those rumors were finally laid to rest on January 23rd. With approval of the NBA Board of Governors, Gail Miller has transferred ownership of the Utah Jazz and Vivint Smart Home Arena to a legacy trust fund, which will ensure the Miller family will continue to be stewards of the Utah Jazz for generations to come. It's been heralded as an unprecedented move. Many outside the inner circle are comparing this move to the move the Green Bay Packers made in making the fans the private shareholders of the team. However, here's how this is different. The Legacy Trust Fund is governed by 12 designated members, each with their own voting power. A good portion of these members are high-ranking executives of the Larry H. Miller Group of companies, which owns car dealerships in the area as well as a multitude of other companies. The majority of the members, however, are members of the Miller family. In the event of hiring or firing executives within the Utah Jazz, or even hiring ushers, web developers, social media marketers, and so forth, the vote would have to be a minimum of 7-5 in favor of the move to make it happen. If the team ever came to decide whether or not to sell the team, the vote would have to be more something along the lines of 10-2 in favor of the sale. Anything less than 10 votes in favor and the sale falls through. The move to have an ownership group as opposed to one owner who could be easily swayed or paid off makes a sale or move of a franchise significantly more difficult. But what does this mean for profits coming in? After all, every NBA team brings in a profit after their players and coaching staff are paid, right? Well, in this case, the Legacy Trust Fund acquires all cash considerations acquired in trades as well as profits from merch and ticket sales. The Miller Group of companies and Miller family do not receive a dime of profit from the team or Vivint Smart Home Arena. Now, there are some that would point out that there are some tax-friendly motives behind this move, and that's totally fair. The move might very well be tax-motivated. However, the move also guarantees that 100% of the profits goes back towards the team and or arena. That includes looking to acquire more talent, further developing the D-League Salt Lake City Stars, building better practice facilities, hiring more coaches, arena renovations, and more. In short, the transfer of ownership ensures that the Utah Jazz will remain a staple of the Salt Lake City community for generations to come. And in doing so, Gail Miller made financial sacrifices that very few billionaire or millionaire owners of businesses would even dream of making for the betterment of the business in the community. Miller says the Jazz are a community asset, and it's safe to say they will be for a very long time to come. What a time to be alive indeed. Many sports owners could take a page from teams like the Jazz and the Green Bay Packers on rewarding fan loyalty. Thank you, Utah? No. Thank you, Gail Miller. Hey YouTubers, this is Raul. Be sure to click the like and subscribe button if you're interested in seeing more of these videos. I am just barely starting, so bear with me as we go through some growing pains. Also, a quick shout out to Pond by a Beaner. I'll click the link to his page below. It is my brother's page, but that's not really his fault. See you guys later.
This has been a WTF production.